Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Shock as dead baby found in downtown Kingston. Shock and disbelief gripped residents of downtown Kingston on Monday following the discovery of the remains of a newborn boy on Temple Lane in the district. The body was discovered after dogs bite open a bag. The police were subsequently alerted and, upon their arrival, found the dead baby wrapped in a newspaper inside the bag. Police suspect that the body was dumped at the location on Sunday, which was celebrated as Mother's Day. As the scene was processed, onlookers expressed shock at the discovery, some of them visibly disturbed. "Jesus," one woman yelled. "Have mercy, God have mercy." Dorothy, a vendor who plies her trade near where the baby was discovered, said she thought it was a joke when informed by a taxi driver that there was a dead baby in a bag. "God know, me think a joke him did a make. Me never believe him," said Dorothy, who also theorized that the baby was dumped overnight. "Me come here after 5 in the morning and me see the bag. Is in the night the person put it there," she added. In the meantime, social media was flooded with reactions to the news. "Look how much people that want the baby, dear God," entertainer Cecile said. State Minister Juliet Cuthbert Flynn reacted with a crying emoji, while another person added, "This just hurt my heart." Investigators are still trying to determine the cause of death of the baby up to publication time. 22-year-old pregnant woman killed in Manchester crash identified. Police have identified a pregnant woman who succumbed to injuries she sustained in a crash on the Winston Jones Highway near Mandeville on Sunday night. She is 22-year-old Torian Elliott, a resident of Riches in Clarendon. A report from the Constable Communications Unit said about 7:45 p.m., 3 people were traveling uphill towards Mandeville in a Toyota Crown motor car when it was hit by another car. The impact resulted in the Crown going over a guardrail. Police say the driver of the other car did not stop at the scene. Firefighters had to be called in to extricate Elliott from the mantled Crown. She, along with 2 men, were rushed to hospital, where she died while undergoing treatment. The men are said to be in stable condition. Portland guest house raised in blaze, closest fire hydrant empty. Though the 2 buildings were completely destroyed and the closest hydrant had no water, firefighters managed to keep Sunday night's raging fire at Clifford Guest House from spreading. It is part of the property of Titchfield Hill, a heritage site with old Georgian architecture. 24 firefighters from 3 units fought the blaze. An initial response by 2 units from Port Antonio was later supported by firefighters from Buff Bay. With the closest hydrant empty, they refilled the tanks of their trucks about 900 meters away on Harbour and West Streets. The structure, once known as Kosher Guest House, went up in flames shortly before 10 p.m. The 32-room property located on Queen Street, Port Antonio, reportedly had 3 guests at the time of the blaze. Only one of the guests was on site at the time of the blaze. No one was injured. The cause of the fire and estimated damage is not yet known. George Brown, who said he has been a caretaker at the property for more than 30 years, was on location at the time of the fire. He told reporters that a woman's screams and the sound of her running alerted him that something was amiss. "So me fly the door and me hear fire, fire, fire. So me rush to go save something. And me see one policeman and him say, 'Come out before you're dead or burn up in ya.' Me grab something and me no know what me grab, but me know me sneakers them burn up in there and some clothes," Brown said. The fire started to 10. "It's a big loss, not sure if we will recover. We are going to make a link up and see what happened," he added. 2 charged with robbing man of $89,000. 2 men who allegedly tied up a man and robbed him of $89,000 at his home in Aberdeen District, Brownstown, St. Anne on Sunday have been charged robbery with aggravation. Charged are 27-year-old Warren Lewis and 37-year-old Peter Bramwell, both of a Portmore St. Catherine address. It is alleged that about 2:30 p.m., a man was at his home when he saw Lewis and Bramwell alighted from a Toyota Probox motor car before attacking him armed with knives. They reportedly took the man inside his house where they tied his hands and feet and robbed him of cash and cologne. The accused were later identified taken into custody and charged after an identification parade. Nurse brain drain, a bleeding wound, says NAJ president. President of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, NAJ, Patsy Edwards Henry, says she does not see a near end to recurring recruitment drive by the United Kingdom for local nurses. Her declaration follows a media report Monday morning that Britain's National Health Service was set to hire up to 500 midwives from overseas nations, including Jamaica. Speaking with reporters, Edwards Henry described the country's nurse brain drain problem as a wound that is bleeding, which a band-aid can't help. The government of Jamaica needs to take a step back and invest in nurses, as postulated by the team from the International Council of Nurses this year, she said, noting that 4,225 transcripts have been requested from the Nursing Council between 2017 and 2021, and 1,780 nurses have left the public sector over the last 4 years. Edwards Henry said she does not see the perennial problem ending anytime soon. Nurses continue to seek to go to greener pastures to facilitate them living comfortable lives, taking care of their children, sending them to schools, to universities, to colleges, buying of homes, driving a vehicle. This is the reason why a number of our nurses are leaving. The compensation here in Jamaica just does not cut it, and while the government is looking at a compensation review, we are still nowhere near the finalization of that, and we are not seeing where it will benefit nurses as much as we would have hoped that it would, she explained. So our nurses continue to go, our more seasoned, our specialized nurses, our mature nurses, those are the ones who are going, and it continues to pose a challenge within the work environment, as the nurses who stay are burned out and overworked, the NAJ president added. Further, she said, despite best efforts, hospitals continue to function under capacity. The hospitals continue to try as much as possible to work optimally, but we will never be able to give optimal service until we get our nurses carried up to the level where it is what I can call optimal, she shared. She added that at maximum, some hospitals function at 70% of its capacity, while others only function at 50 and 60%. International Nurses Day is being observed on Thursday, May 12. Sanders held our hands through the pandemic. When the tourism industry was being mercilessly gutted by the novel coronavirus pandemic, travel agents, at their wits' end, found new respect for Sanders Resorts International SRI, the Caribbean's largest hotel chain and only super brand. Sanders worked 24/7 with the travel agents whose role has now evolved as travel advisors to hype up promotion, rebook travelers, offer discounts, lock in prices, keep weddings on track, soothe honeymooners, and anything else that could do to help keep them afloat. We were hanging on by the skin of our teeth during the pandemic, admitted Pamela Barlow, manager at Texas-based First Travel. I don't think we could have managed to survive without the help of Sanders, she told reporters. Barlow, who was of the 150 advisors who was fitted in Jamaica by Sanders Beaches and 201 overall in the Caribbean last Wednesday, which was dubbed Global Travel Advisors Day, formerly National Travel Advisors Day. Every May 4, except for 2020 when the pandemic was cancelling out everything, Global Travel Advisors Day is observed by the American Society of Travel Advisors, ASTA, the world's oldest and largest association of travel advisors. ASTA, headed by Zane Kirby, represents 80% of all travel sold through travel agencies and advisors in the United States alone, and at any given time has the attention and advocacy of thousands of travel advisors across the globe. As the exclusive travel advisor sponsor, Sanders celebrates their partnership with the agents by pampering them at the resort through spa days and lavish luncheons or virtual events providing the opportunity to provide trade incentives. It was a fascinating day as we joined with Asta to recognize and celebrate travel advisors and the leading role they play in our industry success and way forward, said Gary Sadler, the Jamaican who is Executive Vice President of sales at Miami-based Unique Vacations Incorporation, an affiliate of the worldwide representatives for Sanders and Beaches Resort. We are proud and grateful to our incredible loyal travel advisor community who have been in our corner for 40 years and counting. As we reverted partners on this journey, we celebrate you today and every day with the utmost gratitude, Sadler told travel advisors, relishing the offers of beaches, turk, and Caicos. In a videotape message, Sanders Executive Chairman Adam Stewart also acknowledged the pivotal role travel advisors had played in the remarkable return of the tourism industry after 2 years of the pandemic. Travel is back and it's better than ever, with demand soaring to new heights, said Stewart. This bright path forward is thanks to the confidence you inspired in your customers to get them back to doing what they love the most, connecting with each other among some of the Caribbean's most unique settings. Describing travel advisors as the frontline ambassadors of the tourism industry, Stewart said the vision of his father, Gordon Bush Stewart, who founded Sandals, could not only have been realized without their enduring support, love and trust every step of the way. The travel advisors spoke of their love for the resort train and close relationships forged in by working with Sandals Beaches, extensive team of business development managers who make up the largest and most active sales force globally. Melissa Thomas, owner of Dream a Little, Dream Travel, said Sanders accounted for 70% of her business, which is manned by 7 agents, all operating from home bases. The Sanders people are great to work with, and they were a great help during the pandemic. That's why, although we only started selling again in November last year, the business has been growing like crazy, said Thomas, who was enjoying the fair at Sanders South Course in Westmoreland. Jamie Bird, a friend who Thomas had brought into Dream a Little Dream 5 years ago, said she too can speak highly of Sanders, especially about during the pandemic, when we had a hard time with the cancellations. They are awesome to work with. Sanders is a great brand and just wonderful through and through, said Bird, who was also feted at Sanders South Course. Barlow's first travel, which is this year celebrating 55 years in the business, said she loves working with Sandals, Jamaican Resort in particular, because Jamaicans are fun and nice to work with. Even when I go to other Sandals resorts, I look out for the Jamaicans there. Sandals delivers every time. They're always modernizing, which is important because there's a luxurious brand and our clients love that about the resort, said Barlow, who stayed at Sandals OJ. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.